What's up YouTube, back with another video, and today I'm gonna go over the Warriors Freelance in NBA 2K21. And I'm on next gen, but I'm pretty sure it's exactly the same on current gen. So let's get into it. So if we look at the description, it says best for shooters at point guard, shooting guard, and small forward positions. And the player example they give is Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. And if you look at the spacing, the diagram, I don't know, for some reason the diagrams isn't always like accurate, but this is how the spacing would look. You'll have a person in the corner, somebody on both wings, your guard at the top, and then your center down low. But your center won't stay down low. He'll be on the perimeter a lot, mostly just setting screens. And the types of actions, you see post split and off screens. So there's not a lot of ISO, it's not a lot of pick and roll. It's just mostly a lot of off ball screens, you know, double screens, single screens, and just really a lot of off ball movement in general. Positives, scoring options for teams with multiple shooters and creatives. Negatives, perimeter based offense, not a lot of inside scoring opportunities. So this Freelance is good if you have consistent shooters, but if you have slashers or a big man that you're trying to play through, then this Freelance might not be ideal. Now getting into the actions, most of the offense is initiated from the top, even though there are some actions that'll happen if you start out on the wing, but starting from the top is best. So the first action you'll see would be just a simple off ball screen. So right here, Klay Thompson is in a corner, Wiseman sets the screen for him, and then he comes up to the wing, and sometimes he'll be open for a three. Here's another example of this. So this time he's in the opposite corner, and this time Draymond Green sets the screen for him, but it's the same thing. He comes up to the wing and gets open for a three. The next action will end up being like a flare screen for Curry or whoever brings up the ball. So right here, I bring the ball up, and Klay Thompson doesn't get open for that three. So I just hold the ball, and then Oubre comes over and sets a screen for Curry. Then Curry goes to the opposite wing, and the defense doesn't switch out in time, so he gets a three. Here's another example of this. So Draymond sets a screen for Oubre. He doesn't get open, so I hold. Klay sets a screen for Curry. I pass it to Curry. I take a terrible shot, but it goes in. This next action ends up being a double screen that leads to a three. So right here, I'll start at the top. Klay comes up. He doesn't get open, so I'll hold. Curry runs that flare screen. I pass it to him. He's not open, so I'll hold. Then the Freelance goes into this double screen action. Oubre and Draymond set screens for Klay. He comes up to the top and gets open for a three. And here's another example of this. So I bring the ball up. Klay's not open, so I hold. Pass to Curry. He's not open, so I hold. Double screen. Klay gets open. I get a three. This next action ends up being another off ball that leads to a three. So just like the rest of them, I start at the top. Oubre doesn't get open, so I hold. Curry doesn't get open, so I hold. Then it goes into the double screen. And as Oubre catches the ball, Draymond will set a screen for Klay. Then he will come out to the wing and get open for a three. Here's another example of this. So again, pass to Klay, not open. Pass to Steph, not open. I wait. Double screen. I was actually open right here, but I passed it. I shoot a three with Oubre, and it goes in. This next action is another off ball screen that leads to a three. So right here, I bring the ball up with Curry, and instead of passing it to Klay, I pass away from him to Oubre, and then Curry will set a screen for Klay, and he'll come up to the top and get open for a three. Here's another example of this. So I bring the ball up with Curry. Klay comes up, but I pass it off to Oubre. Curry sets the screen for Klay. Klay gets open for a three. This next action ends up being another double screen that leads to a three. So same start as the last action. I come up. I don't pass to Klay. I pass to Oubre. Curry sets a screen for Klay. He's not open, so I give the ball back to Curry. Then the Freelance goes into this double screen. Klay and Draymond set a screen for Oubre. He comes up and gets a three. So now I'm gonna get into some wing, post, and transition actions, and it's not a lot of them. It's like literally one of each. So as for the wing action, so instead of bringing the ball up the middle, I bring the ball up and I go to the wing, and I could either pass it to Draymond at the top or Oubre in the corner. If you pass up to the top, then it'll just go into like one of the actions that I talked about earlier. So I pass to the corner, and Draymond comes over, sets a screen for me. He fades out to the corner, and I drive and get a dunk. Now getting into the post action, I come up the court and I pass it off to Oubre on the wing, then I give it to Wiseman in the post. Then Oubre sets the screen for Curry. He comes out to the wing and I take a contested shot, but it's Curry, so it goes in. Now getting into the transition actions, the only thing that would really happen in transition is just a pick and roll. So right here, he missed the shot, we get the rebound, and I don't really have numbers. So I bring the ball up and Wiseman sets a screen for me and the defense doesn't get out on me, so I get a 3. So here's another example of this. I force a miss, I pass the ball up to Curry, then Wiseman comes, sets a screen for me, I drive and get a layup. So those are pretty much all the actions that you'll see, and before I get into my thoughts, I wanted to show a few examples of which I kind of manipulate the freelance in a way to forcing a certain action to happen. So I really like that double screen action that you get for whoever is in the corner and then they come up to the top, and instead of doing all the passes and going through the freelance, you can kind of force that action almost whenever you want to. So right here I have the ball with Curry at the top and he's in takeover. So let's say I wanted to get him a shot. Normally I would just call a play for him, but we're gonna get him in that double screen action. So normally Wiseman will go set a screen for Oubre and Oubre will come up and I would pass him the ball, but I pass it over to Klay Thompson and then Curry and Wiseman set the double screen for Oubre. I pass it, but I could have just held it with Klay Thompson, and then it's telling me to pass it to Oubre or Draymond, but I don't. I just hold the ball because I know that if I don't do anything, then the double screen action will happen again. So I hold, I wait, the double screen action comes. Now Curry runs through the 2 screens and I get a wide open 3. So here's another example of this. I bring the ball up with Curry and I don't even wait for the freelance to start. I immediately pass it to Oubre on the wing and I hold. Klay comes through the 2 screens. He doesn't get open, so I give it back to Oubre. Now Curry comes through the 2 screens and I get an open 3. So you could use this little strategy if you just want to get a shot really quick. It might be like a 2-for-1 situation, or you might not have a lot of time on the clock to run a play. You can do that, or you can use it to get a certain player a shot. Now getting into my thoughts, I really like this freelance and it fits like my play style pretty well. I like freelances that have like off-ball movement like this, and freelances that'll get you open 3s and that have a good amount of ball movement. I like to spread the ball around and make the defense have to guard everybody so that they can't just key in on one player. And it fits the Warriors perfectly, but it could also be good with other teams like the Blazers, maybe the Hawks, and just teams that have pretty good shooters and not necessarily a big man that you want to play through. But using this with the Warriors is actually just so good because you got the 2 best shooters in the game and they can really go crazy because they both have the Steph and Klay have the hot shot badge, so when they make jump shots they could get takeover way faster, and sharpshooting takeover in this game is actually pretty crazy. Like you can hit shots from pretty much half court easily. Like after I went through the freelance and all the branches and stuff, I was just messing around, just seeing what type of shots I could make, and I was gunning shots from pretty much half court consistently in sharp takeover. And this is on Hall of Fame, so I'm pretty confident that I can do some of this stuff in a real game on Play Now. So that's pretty much the end of the video. I hope this helped you. If you're interested in more videos like this, I have a playlist and I hope this helped you. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more content.